Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Kollin at seductionpower.com. So the question of the day is, why is this man so bitter? Now he was on that young lady's channel. I think her name is Pearl. I think her channel is called Just Pearly Things. In fact, I have it right here. I think it's her. No, it's on someone else's channel. Somebody recorded it. So this is a video of this guy just complaining about women having money and power and getting an education. He literally says about, I think it's like 3 minutes and let's see, about 4 minutes in that, women aren't making good choices. They continually choose to get their master's degree in business and to get their bachelor's degree in this and to go to college. They need to choose to have a marriage and a family, and they need to drop out of college. I'm actually going to play the video for you guys. I actually recorded about probably 30 seconds or something. So if you followed my channel at all in the last 2-3 weeks, you've heard me talk about how you really need to have a comforting voice, resonant. You need to breathe deep, relax, be comforting and comfortable. Just feel good, women feel comfortable. Well, this guy, he's talking like, literally he talks like this, like his throat's on lockdown and he's talking through his neck, and at times you really gotta go, he literally kind of talks through his nose, and like, whoa, like what's going on with this dude? Well, this dude is a very, 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 very analytical kind of guy. The logical brain is the analytical brain. Now I'm going to say it again. I'm going to ask you this time, where does her mating system connect to? The right brain. If you're Mr. Left Brain Logical Linear, it's going to turn her the fuck off. Guys, literally it affects her neurology in a way that disconnects her from her mating system, and it irritates the piss out of them. Now here's the deal. Here's a guy who's extremely left logical brain. He's analytical. He uses the words like data. And he doesn't say data or data. He says data. Everything is ego. Everything is like self-importance and just fucking... He's linear as fuck. Now he wants to suck people down into his world, which is where he's miserable. I don't want to join this man in his fucking misery at the tip of this tip, and he's fucking stuck and he can't get out and he's fucking angry, and I'm not getting what I want because he puts himself in fucking prison in the tip of that tip right there. Now here's a man who spent a good portion of his life looking for data, as he says it, and I'm going to show you the video in a second. And one thing we learn in NLP and psychology and hypnosis is if you have a belief, your unconscious mind will do everything in its power to prove that it's right, because the belief itself is what's actually doing it. It's like, okay, well, this is what I believe. So you got this belief inside your unconscious mind or your brain, and it will look only for things that say, see, I'm right, this is true, this belief is true, see, this is true, see, and it will look for any kind of data to say what it's saying. But here's the point with most data, is it's missing data. Sorry, man. This guy, the way he talks. Oh, I wanted to point something out before I forget. I'll come back to this data stuff. Okay, so the courses are extremely expensive. I get it, but I'm telling you, it is life-altering, life-changing. It is a complete mind shift, okay? Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably going, yeah, I'm kind of one of those analytical kind of dudes, Mike. Well, that's the whole point. That's why I'm making these videos. That's why I'm pulling this guy, because I'm trying to show you something that, look, this analytical way of thinking and talking, this does not turn women the fuck on. Please, please understand this. Now, here's another piece I want to add to what I just said. You can change this. You can stop talking. Literally, I'm not joking. Talking out of your nose. And see, when you get analytical, you go up into your head and you get everything. Your muscles tighten in your face and your throat and your tongue, and you start talking analytical. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude, get the fuck out. So what we got to do is we literally got to reverse this. Hold on. There we go. And now you get to escape from data. By the way, the tip is the further in the left brain, and the top here is the further you go into the right brain. Now, coincidentally, I just had these monks lined up here. Guess what monks do? They help people get out of the tip of the V. They get them to open up and relax. That's pretty much the whole purpose of Buddhism, is to get you to wake up, to open up and relax and chill the fuck out and enjoy your life. Honestly, if you haven't started the meditation practice, you really should, and you really should do it for about a year or two. It's got to be at least an hour a day, 5 days a week, and on weekends, maybe do it for 2 hours or something, and do that for at least 6 months. I am telling you, your life will change. So, I know my courses are expensive, but I also do one-on-one coaching. So if you actually go to my website, let me actually go there now. It's a new website. I built it just for men. I do have one section for women, though. That's it. Like, literally, that's it. But so if you scroll down, right now it's on the third section. It may be changed by the time you get this video, like months down the road. But the third section down says choose your path. On the far left, you've got men's seduction mastery, and you got the women's relationship coaching. I've got the black and white images here. And on the far right, it says life coaching and healing. You get a guy like he's speaking. These are all black and white images. In there, I have my different coaching sessions. They're generally $250 per session. This one is a class, so that's $145, but that's a class. So one-on-one coaching, I generally charge $250. So we can work on getting you to breathe deep, to do the internal awareness techniques to come out of your head. In fact, I have some very specific techniques to bring you out of your head, so you begin to become a more comfortable person to talk to. Your voice is more comforting versus talking all like this. It's very irritating, and your throat's tight and your forehead's tight and your eyeballs are like ping-ponging out of your brain. Here's what I'll do. What I'll probably do is I may offer like a 10-session if you sign up for 10 sessions, I'll give you like a big chunk discount. So let me think about that. It's late at night. It's 3:30 in the morning. I know I should be in bed, but I'm not. Let me kind of think about how I'm going to do this, but I'll give you a discount if you sign up for 10 sessions. Otherwise, it's going to be $250 per session. So this way you can begin to work on what you need to shift to be more comfortable with yourself and communicate more comfortably. Not only that, but these are the same techniques I teach you during the Crack the Female Code course. So all of this is included in the course. It's a 6-day training, okay? Now, if you begin to learn these before you take that course, that's going to make the course way better and way easier for you to understand it as well and go through it. So just know I also do one-on-one coaching for specific areas that you want to improve, such as what this video is about. So let's get back to this guy. So here's the deal. You've been talking through your logical brain for so long. You're just used to kind of talking like this, and you don't even think you're doing it, but you don't realize it. It probably sounds pretty normal, but it's actually very uptight. And women, when they hear that and they feel that energy, they're going to be like, yeah, I got to get the fuck out of here. Women don't like to be tightened up. They like to be loosened up. They want to be on the open end. It's a natural part of their nature. And here's the funny thing. When I open you up to this end, you're going to be like, whoa. Terrence and I, he just joined our channel about, I think, a month ago. We did one breathing session. One session. He's like, man, that's all I had to do. He's, I feel so much better. And I said, imagine doing this again and again with me for longer periods of time, because we only did it for about 7 minutes. It wasn't very long. I said, imagine doing all the other techniques involved. Imagine how relaxed you're going to be then. Now, here's the deal. When you open up to your right brain and you do it enough times, you're like, man, this feels so good. You kind of start doing it willingly because you're like, man, I want to feel good again. Now, here's what happens when you get really good at opening up and grounding yourself and just everything's relaxed. You can breathe deep, and you know how like you can't quite catch a breath, and you're kind of uptight, and you can't, you try to breathe deep, but you can't because your solar plexus, that muscle, I just forgot the name of it, that's right, pulls your lungs down. It's tight, and it's like stretching a muscle. That's why the more you do deep breathing, the easier it becomes. So when you finally get relaxed and comforted and you feel good, when some guy comes around and starts to talk like this and that, you're going to be like, get the fuck away from me. And then you're like, oh, this is why women like to go out on like ladies' night out or tea time for ladies. It's because they want to open up. Because here's the funny thing. When you're around other people that are very grounded and open, it's easier for you to open up. But when you're around these kind of people, it sucks you back into that tight fucking forehead and your muscles get all scrunched up like this statue right here, this stoicism guy. This is why I don't like stoicism for the most part, is because it's all linear, logical, pointy finger, all external, logical, disconnected, dissociated. By the way, frustration and anger are at the inside tip of that V that I keep talking about. That's why you're so pissed, because you got all this fucking energy and it's concentrated and you're like, it's like you're constipated and you can't take a shit. That's literally what it's like up in your forehead. I'll teach you how to turn it around and open up. So the first message really for right now is that you start to understand why women only want to be around women, because women open up and it's fun. Man, when you're in the right brain, this is what Jesus says when he says, I tell you the truth, until you become like these children, you shall not enter the gates of heaven. What does he mean? He's talking about being in your right brain, because the right brain is free flowing. It's like Bruce Lee says, be water, my friend. Water is equal to emotions, which is your right brain. It's like when that kid says, let me think. And Bruce Lee, crack! He cracks him hella fast and goes, don't think. And then he points to his right brain and he goes, feel. And then he goes, we need now. Okay, when he says this, he points to his right brain. We need emotional content, right brain. Well, Mr. Analytical Dude doesn't have emotional content and he can't figure out why he doesn't get what he wants out of life. And this is essentially what he's saying in this video is, I'm not happy with the way things are. And then he goes along, and so his whole rant is about how I believe that women don't like men, okay? And he starts bringing up all these literally data points on how, I forget what I think it was OK Cupid, and there was another one that he did, and they did this study about blah blah blah, and looked, and the statistics point out, and even when women, when they marry these really rich men, they still decide to go to college and get their degrees, like it's a bad fucking thing. And I'm like dude, like what the fuck is wrong with you? So this, how narcissistic is it to say, hey man, I want you to be weak and submissive. I don't want you to get a degree, because then you could make money on your own and then I don't have power over you. That's literally what he's fucking saying. He can only function in the world if he has control over someone and makes them weaker. And he's asking women to voluntarily drop out of fucking college. You shouldn't get a degree. How fucked up is that to sit there and I mean, we have fought against this since the beginning of time. You know, for people to be able to stand up on their own 2 feet, to take charge of their own life, and this fuckface is saying, oh, they're going out there getting degrees, that's like, you know, the worst thing they could do, and, you know, they're not making the right choices. Like, what are you talking about? That's insane. Honestly, I would love to marry a woman, date a woman that has a master's degree in business law, or maybe her doctorate degree, who has really been really successful in the corporate world. That would be, like, to me, the ultimate fucking girl. Why is this man so bitter? I mean, that'd be like being like a martial artist, or a mixed martial artist, or kickboxer or something, and telling your opponent, like, you shouldn't train before we fight. Like, what? You shouldn't use your good techniques, because that's wrong. You're making the wrong choices in life. Okay, so let's answer the question, why is this man so bitter? He's bitter because he fucking doesn't understand women for jack shit. Now, here's the deal. I only listened to the video, I think it was about 4.5 seconds or 7 seconds. It wasn't even 7 seconds. It was about 4.5 seconds. Like, oh, this guy probably sucks with women. I didn't even know what the fucking video was about. And sure enough, it was about him bitching and moaning, complaining about women. You know, I think at this point, because I've actually said this a couple of times, a couple of videos, you're starting to see that I really, really support women, okay? The whole course was designed to give women what they want. Now, here's the really, really cool thing. Now that they get what they want, you get what you want, because they do it willingly. Because they want to, not because it's a fucking financial exchange. See, here's the deal. Okay, I'm actually going to, hold on, I'm going to read this comment. All right, this is on that video I'm talking about. So, this guy says, he makes a comment in the comment section. He goes, "Women making money expose so many for who they actually are. When women make money, they choose themselves. When men make money, they want a family." Now, there is a lot of truth to that. But I think what you have to look at is women used to get the shit kicked out of them for fucking thousands of years, up until very recently, until about 1980s, when this shit was put to a stop finally. I'm telling you, even in the 60s, women received a good ass kicking. They really did. And in general, women haven't been treated that fair. So here's the other thing you gotta look at. There is something in the female system where, like, hey, if I get pregnant, I've got a fucking child that I got to take care of, and that overrides everything. It's in their mating system. It's in their lower reptilian brain. So this is why they try to pick a good mate that's going to stick around. You know, they're going to get pregnant and provide. The problem is, though, men in general have not treated women well at all for the longest time. And look at, honestly, I used to hate saying this. No, not saying, I used to fucking hate hearing this word, but now that I'm looking at what's going on, like Jesus, this is horrible. It's called misogyny, and I hate it when women say this about men, but I'm starting to see there's a lot more men out there that are like that than I realized. So here's the deal. When I was younger, I sucked with women. I was a state champion in boxing. I was captain of the football and wrestling team in high school. We literally we were section champions. I went to the state championship in wrestling. I was a straight A fucking student. I was a lead in choir, blah blah blah. I could not get a fucking girl to even look at me. I had a girlfriend in high school that treated me like fucking shit. And then after high school, I could not meet a girl for the. I had a car. Here's the thing: I had a car, and it was a nice car too. And I was going to college. I had a fucking job. I had money. I couldn't get a fucking girl to even talk to me at lunch. I'm not kidding. I am not fucking kidding. Even the girls in class that had been a whole semester. Sometimes I'd be with like classes for 2 semesters with some of the girls. They wouldn't even hang out with me. I felt like such a fucking loser. And then I met this girl, the Laotian girlfriend. She was not a pretty girl. I'm not trying to be mean, but she was not a pretty girl. She had a great body, though. That's the one thing I will tell you. Great in bed, too. But she ended up, after about 6 months, she started cheating on me. And I knew it, but I didn't. And she, at one point when I confronted her, it was about 2.5 years later, she was, "What are you going to do about it? You can't meet women for the life of you. And I know that about you." And you know what? She was fucking right. But Mike, it's all about the looks. You're a good looking guy. I'm telling you right now, you guys are looking at a picture that's from 5 years ago. I am older now. If you think I look good now, I looked way better in my fucking 20s. I was in perfect fucking shape. I had like 6, 7%, 8% body fat. I mean, I was jogging, running, lifting weights, training, kickboxing, wrestling, fucking. I was Division 2 wrestler. I mean, dudes, if you think I was ugly then, no, I was better looking back then than I am now. And I'm fucking, women are all over me now. And it's not because of my fucking looks. It's because of what I learned.
Okay, Mama.
You know, the funny thing is, like, I've got a belly now. I'm old. Guys, I'm 57 years old. And I'm just, like, this picture here, I'm probably 51 years old. This girl right here, she was 26 years old. First thing I said to her, now this is this is Oakland Hills. These are the elite rich people, right? This fucking dude was a multimillionaire, and my friend was a multimillionaire, the person I was with. Now you guys are thinking, oh, well, she was a gold digger. Maybe she was. The first thing I said to her was, "I'm not rich at all." And I said, "I am the poorest person at this party, and I'm fucking serious." And I told her, I live in a 1-bedroom apartment, so don't think I'm like one of these people. She didn't give a fuck. She fucking gave me her number anyways. So guys, I'm telling you, there's a way of being that attracts women. So now let's get back to Mr. Analytical Guy. I want you to listen to what he says and then listen to his fucking voice, okay?
You said that most women don't like men that much.
I'm pretty convinced the data is in my favor. But yes, I would say women don't like men that much. They don't hate men. I'm not saying all women hate men. But most women, I would say, are pretty indifferent to most men. And there's a ton of data more recently brought to light, kind of what our realm that we're in, this industry, where the online dating data has kind of bore that out, where there's the famous OkCupid study where only 20% of men are rated attractive by women.
Okay, I have to cut that off. My forehead literally is starting to tighten up. Now here's the deal. You're like, what are you talking about? Because see, you guys are so used. Okay, you're so used to being stuck in your forehead, you don't even know you're there. When I work with clients, there's a technique I call it the drop down technique, and it pulls the energy back. And first thing I'll ask my clients is like, so where do you feel? Like, where are you in your body? And they'll kind of, I shouldn't tell you this because when you come in to do it, it won't be so impactful. Man, damn it. No, fucking, I'm gonna tell you. So they're like, I don't know, I'm in my body. I'm like, no, just like, where do you feel? Like, man, I've got this pressure in my eyes or behind my eyes or my forehead. And then I do this technique where it pulls the pressure off. And they're like, holy shit. They're like, I didn't realize how much pain I had behind my eyes. I'm like, well, haven't you noticed how angry and bitchy you are? And like, fuck yeah, I guess I have been. People say that to me, like, what are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, dude, because you got so much pressure. Because you focus, you're pushing that energy in the front of your fucking head and your eyeballs. You're looking at everything's concentrated, the tip of that V. We got to get you out the other end. And when you come out of it, you're like, man. And if you're in that zone where you're open, when you get around people like this, you're going to be like, oh my God, get the fuck. Because you finally feel good. You don't want someone to blow it. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because women get around Mr. Data Man, and the data pretty much proves that is they don't want to be around people like that. So when he says, like, I'm pretty sure that women don't like men, what he meant to say, his English kind of got mixoplixed. What he meant to say is, I'm pretty sure women don't like me.
You said that most women don't like men that much.
I'm pretty convinced the data is in my favor. But yes, I would say women don't like men that much. They don't hate men. I'm not saying all women hate men, but most women, I would say, are pretty indifferent to most men. And there's a ton of data more recently brought to light, kind of what our realm that we're in, this industry.
Now here's the deal. There is some truth to what he's saying, but it's not because of zero reason. It's because men are irritating as fuck. It's like, and it's not all men. Like when men get older, some of the older men, they're really mellow. They got a resonant voice. They're very comforting. They're doing deep, taking deep breaths. They're not like concentrating. It's just the way they become, man. So it's not all men, but it is most men. I'm telling you, it's more than 90% of the men. And so he's fucking right. Women are like, fuck this. Now let's look at this guy. I'm assuming he's about 38 years old, maybe 40. I'm not sure how. Actually, let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Yeah, I couldn't find it. So here's my point. I've been talking with women for over 3 decades about this issue, about how men are not emotionally grounded. Now, right now, you're like, what is emotionally grounded? Well, Mr. Data Man is not emotionally grounded. He's up in his fucking head. And I'm telling you, when you take this course and you open up, you are going to avoid anyone who's like that. You're like, oh my God. When you're in that tip of the V, it's like you have this big, thick iron door that's closed, and it's like 6 inches thick, so you couldn't even fucking shoot a fucking 44 Magnum through it. You probably wouldn't even feel it. In fact, not only probably, you wouldn't even feel it if you're on the other side of the door. And you're like, well, what are you talking about? What pain? Pain from what? And friends and women are like, oh my God, that's so irritating. Like, what's irritating? And then when I open the door, you're like, oh my God, that's fucking irritating. And the other thing is he's using the very linear, very data language, the analytical language. It's very analytical, and this turns women off. Now, I've been dealing with women for 30 years and openly discussing this stuff, and every woman says the same thing. So if he were to include in the data that 90% of these men talk up in their forehead through their nose and analyzing and stuff, then you would have real data and be like, oh, I get it. So these men that are very analytical turn women the fuck off, and not only that, but irritate women. Oh, no wonder why this top 2-3% of men, here's the deal. It's not the rich men. He even says later in their interview, like some of these women will marry men that are like multimillionaires, and yet they'll still go to college and they'll get their master's degrees, and they're still making the wrong decisions, even though their husbands are rich. So it's like, dude, like you literally just countered what you just, because he tried to say, well, it's only the 2% that women go after, but then he immediately counters that and says, oh, well, they're even women dating these guys, they're still doing this. Yes. So if it's not about being the top 2% money earners in America or the Western world, then what else is going on? Yeah. Here's my point, guys. I'm being dead serious. You can continue down your path being this irritating, analyzing, kind of fucking guy. And a lot of you like, what are you talking about, Mike? Because you're so used to talking that way, you can't even hear the way you sound. And it's not just the sound, it's the irritation. Now, if you've been studying Stoicism, watching videos on it, there's a video, actually, I'm going to pull it up because I was quoting it recently. Let's see, where is it? I think this is it. Okay, so I found the video. So the title is All Men Need to Hear This. She doesn't want what you think. Stoic psychology. She wants emotions. It says it over. She wants powerful emotions. She wants emotional power. It's feelings, emotions. He goes on to say it's not logic. It's not something that you do for her. It's not things. It's not external. So my point being, go ahead and watch the video. Just listen to the first, 4, 5, 6 minutes if you want. And he makes it really clear it's about emotions. But a lot of times when you guys hear these videos, you're just hearing it logically. You're not really hearing it. Because how I know, because when I was not like the way I am now, I wouldn't even, it's almost like, I heard when they would say emotions, but like, oh God, that's that weird women shit. They're all emotional and all that crazy crap. And I would just dismiss it. So a lot of times when you guys hear the Stoic stuff, you don't hear it. It's like you block it out or you dismiss it. So here's something I said to Terrence on the phone the other day. I said, okay, so you've had all these men, and also in that chat board, not the Stoic one I gave you, or maybe in the Stoic one, let me think. Yeah, I think it does. Yeah. So this one with Pearl, the men are just fucking bitter and angry. I mean, all their comments, and I think I read one off to you earlier, so I forget what he said, but women making money expose so many women for who they actually are. And it says, this is why most marriages are transactional, and just like all this crybaby bullshit. So I said to Terrence, I go, have you ever heard me complain about women? He is, no, it seems like you're having a lot of fun with women. And I'm like, exactly. See, the thing with me is I understand women now, but I will tell you what, when I was younger, when I was in college and high school, like I didn't understand women. I didn't know what the fuck to say. I thought I would pay for dinners and I'd buy them gifts and flowers, and they ended up cheating on me and doing all this fucked up shit. It's because I couldn't give her what she needed, and that's the thing. It's what she needed. Women need mentally stimulating and emotionally fulfilling communication. They need you to understand them from the right brain, not Mr. Analyzing from the logical left brain pickup artist techniques. Another thing is, women need the same thing that you get after you have an orgasm. It's that emotion, it's that feeling. Women call that emotional fulfillment. It's where you're content, you're relaxed, you're calm. Oh man, your whole body just feels good. But she can't get it from sex alone. She needs to get it through right brain, emotionally fulfilling communication. And that's the second core pillar of my course. You learn how to do that, bam, women are going to make love to you. Otherwise, it's like that guy said, it's a transactional relationship, it's like you got to make enough money to make her happy and pay for shit. She's not happy, but she does want to have a child. She does want to have a home, but she doesn't want to do it with a poor guy. So she's like, well, at least you make good money, so I'll marry you. She's not doing it because she's in love with you. I'll tell you that right now. Women can't fall in love with a dude that's Mr. Analyzing, Mr. Analyzing. He's like, fuck, that is never going to make a woman fall in love. I don't give a fuck if you're Bill fucking Gates. Oh, didn't Bill Gates' wife divorce him? One of the richest men in the world got divorced. Fascinating. But Mike, it's all about my bank account. Are you sure? Tiger Woods, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and on and on and on. I can name all these millionaires with the wife took them to the fucking cleaners. I'm telling you, money does not do jack shit. But stimulating a woman, giving her emotional fulfillment, Hey, who's that in the picture? Oh, that's me. Get it? Buy my book, Crack the Female Code. Go to seductionpower.com and get laid fast. Alright guys, remember, click subscribe, click the like button, make a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.